Hey everyone, and welcome back for another video. Today we're going to do something a little different. What we're going to do is I've been working on a new side project not related to music where I'm working on templates for websites. And so I've got many varied different hobbies that really interest me. And so coding is one of them. I really enjoy developing things. It's really frustrating, don't get me wrong. But it's nice to be able to like solve a problem, figure out how to solve the problem, do some research, and work through problems step by step. And coding allows me to do that. So it's a good de-stressor as well as a stressor. And so what we're doing is I'm working through using NextJS. If you don't know what NextJS is, it's a JavaScript framework for React. That was a lot of words. JavaScript is how websites have functionality. So when you click on a button or you submit a form, all of that is JavaScript. So when you submit that form, the website through the JavaScript will tell the server, which is what's serving the website to you, what to do. So if you fill out a form, you hit the subscribe button, then YouTube sends or you're sending a request through YouTube when you hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my content, and then you hit the bell, and then you get notifications, and all of that is done through JavaScript, because without JavaScript, there's no functionality on your website. Now, after JavaScript came along something called React. React was developed by developers at Facebook. It's not a part of Facebook. It is from developers at Facebook. And they made it easier to use React to make high-end web applications. But React left a lot of tools out for things like search engine optimization, speed tests, things like just user interfaces that are easily read by people and by search engines in that order. And so come along with NextJS. NextJS takes JavaScript and specifically React and makes it into what's called opinionated. You can't just do whatever you want with it. It has a very specific way of doing things, which makes it easier to develop in because you don't have to worry about configuring a bunch of stuff. It's mostly done for you out of the box. And so it makes it easier to build regular websites, not just web applications, because it also has tools for SEO. SEO, or search engine optimization, is used to tell search engine crawlers like Google and Bing, DuckDuckGo, whomever, what your site is about, what people can expect when they go there, and all of that good stuff. And so Next.js takes care of all of that for you, so you don't have to build all that in your own React apps. And so what I've been doing, and I've got some stuff going already, is trying to use that as a template to sell web design. And that's the end of that. But before we jump into the regular video, make sure you subscribe to this video to see all of my weird, wacky hobbies that I get into, because I take you guys along with me on pretty much all of it. And don't forget to check out my music. I still do that, obviously. You can do that by checking the description below to see what music is coming out and when. So let's go ahead and get started. And by get started, I mean get you guys caught up on what I've done so far. And so the main thing I'm trying to do is first, this left side is Google Chrome again. I'm using it for, I need to get rid of this bookmarks tool. Hold on. Because that's just going to get in the way. And so I have, this is not styled properly yet. I've been working on the navigation up here. And so over here is PyCharm. This is what I use to code. I originally started coding in Python, which I then went with PyCharm because it's built for Python, but then I found out, oh, it's also built for things like HTML and CSS, which are the things that websites are built from. And then, oh, they have tools for JavaScript. Oh, React is in here. Oh, Next.js. And so I'm able to do everything within this one tool, and it's really nifty. Again, not sponsored by PyCharm. I don't even have a link to like an affiliate or anything like that. So if you're interested, just let me know. But here, this is just like a a file of all client information that just has some dummy text in it. And working through from the top here, I've got some configuration stuff. We'll look into this. This is a bunch of functions that sort the posts that are found down here in the blog. So it sorts them, and then we can get all of the IDs, or we can get all the post data, but I do that here in the get sorted post data. And then we have the public, which holds the configuration for the back end, which is where all of like the blogs are stored. I'm using something called decap CMS. Hopefully all of this makes sense to somebody. And then there's an index.html, which acts as the homepage for the admin side of things, which looks like this. No, it doesn't. I have to figure that out too. Or maybe it just doesn't show up here. Regardless, unimportant for now. Maybe important later. We'll see. And so all of that is here. I wonder if that's even supposed to be in that place. I guess we can find out. Let's take a look, shall we? And so I'm looking over here on my other screen at the decap CMS functionality. And so this tells me, and so I did copy and paste most of this stuff, because why retype it when I don't need to? And so we come down here. Yeah, we made public admin index. And so it should show up when it's compiled onto a host. Yeah, so hopefully that wasn't gibberish. So then we have an assets folder, which is where we'll store images for both the blog and in general. So I've got this pretend logo SVG, which is this brand logo, which is really just a placeholder. But it's an SVG because it can scale to any size without being distorted. And then we have the main folder here, which is the source, where the blog posts are stored, the components are stored. And so a component is like the nav, which is what we'll be working on today, probably anyway. And then the pages, which is a required folder, so it knows where the blog is. I can explain some of this a little bit later. But we have individual blogs here, and then the blog homepage here, which if I click on that, you can see all of this here. And then the app.js, which is the main wrapper of all of this stuff, the document.js, which even wraps the app, and then index.js, which is the home. All the styles are down in here with a git ignore. I don't have an environment folder, but anytime I have private or sensitive information, I may change my screen depending on if it's a placeholder or not. But let's go ahead and take a look at the nav. And so I typically start with, I need to go back to the home page because it's going to be easier for me to see. I want to start with mobile first because that's how most people search. And so I've got this big folder here of big file here of all of my global CSS things. And so I accidentally started this with the this screen size in mind. And so let me inspect this real quick and see what this breakpoint is. And so Chrome has some good developer tools. If you're a developer and are not using Chrome, this is the way to go. But I can see up here in this top corner where my mouse is now, where the pixel width and height of the screen is. And so I'm going to bring it down. Really, I don't want this to wrap even. So the smallest screen that I want all of the styles that I already have in is 740. So what I'm going to do is, for everything in the navigation at least, is I'm going to do @media and then screen, and then it should be, I never remember how to do this. @media screen. min width. Well, I know it's at 740 pixels, so this is wrong. I'm going to figure out how to do it. Min width media query. Here we go. And so this isn't what I want. I don't want somebody else's website. W3 Schools is good. And so this is what programming is. It's just Googling to make sure you're doing things that you already know how to do right. So let's wrap all of this nav stuff in here. And if I come back, nothing has changed because this is the screen size. What happens if I go down here though? All of my styles go away. And so some styles need to stay the same, like the background. So if I find the nav bar here, we're going to actually come out here and figure out what it needs. So the background color is still right. Display should still be flex, I think. And so that means I don't want to like double stuff up. So that means that I don't need the brand color here. I don't need the margin 0 there. I don't think I need this at all in there. So if I get rid of that and then I go here, yeah, so all of that is good. So brand, I think is also going to come out because I'm going to have the brand for sure be as like a primary part. It's not going to disappear. Like what I'm trying to do right now is just get this into its own submenu. And so I didn't need to refresh. So brand is good, but the logo went away. And I don't know why it went away. So let's take a look. So that tells me that the logo here also needs to come out with the brand A. And it's back. Okay, cool. So no biggie. And then what's going to happen is, no, I don't really want, well, first, I don't want all of these links in here so far. So if I'm going to offer, so blog is going to, well, I do want all of these because worst or best case, somebody has all of these pages. And so I come back out here. And so when I'm at this size, I want this to disappear. And so that, if I look at the developer tools here, I can see is called, nope, that's the whole thing. We have brand on one side and we have nav items on the other. And so at a small screen size, I want nav items to have a display of none. And so that puts them away. And then let's see if I can do a background image of a URL. And what I want is an SVG. I think I can do this with heroicons.com. And so, yes, they have, it says it's for Tailwind CSS, but it can be for whatever you want. And then I also know I'm going to need an SVG to CSS converter, because all of these icons I'm going to get in the SVG. And so I want a hamburger, and I'm going to copy the SVG from there. And let me see if, back to Safari real quick, SVG, CSS, wait, SVG to CSS. I know I have a converter somewhere in one of my bookmarks. I have way too many profiles and tabs and all this other stuff that makes it very difficult to keep track and keep tabs of everything going on. I cannot find, is this it? This is it. All right. So I need SVG. Oh, it is backgrounds. Okay. This one here. So I'm going to hold on to this. And I want to take this. And so this is all free. Like I'm not stealing here. Like I can do this and it's free. So SVG, and then I want this to be my CSS output, which I'm just going to take the part inside the URL since I already have all of that there. Okay. The problem though is that in coding, you need to alternate which quotes you're using. All right. So now that did nothing. Let's do some of this stuff real quick. Still did nothing. So why did it do nothing? So it's there, but it's not being shown because nav items. So what I need to do is actually not set it to, I need to set, hold on. So we need to set that to none and then set nav items. Oh, I was so confident and that was so wrong. Okay, so display none. Okay, I am confusion. So none, and then nav items, background image. Oh, maybe I need to set a width of 50 pixels and a height of 50 pixels. Yeah, okay. So that's a little too much, but so let's try 15. That's not enough. Try 25. It's all a little bit of trial and error. And so I'm going to start using relative units for more responsiveness. So 2. All right, and so now no matter how close I get, those will never touch. And then I will zoom out, keep scrolling, and that should have switched back. But because I wonder first if I do this, like I thought it was supposed to be, let's see what happens. Okay, so it isn't supposed to be that way, and that's okay. So here, okay, just making sure that it's still good there. And then once we get to a higher level here, we need to set this back to bring it down here, nav items. Nav items, I'm just gonna unset it from none, which should put that back there. And then nav items, I need all of these to also be unset. So we come down here, and why I love PyCharm is that I guess most things can do this, but I can select all of those and hit unset, and then there we go. So we scroll a little bit closer, and then it changes to the hamburger menu. But right now, because we don't have any JavaScript, this isn't going to do anything. And so here, though, we want the cursor to be a pointer. Yes, pointer. And then we need to set a way for the browser to know that we clicked on that. And so I'm going to come back over here to nav, and we're going to set a, I guess the best way to do this is through this, we're going to have to do this twice, but that's not a big deal. So we want the nav items on click to do something. So when we click on it, we want it to do something called a function. And so a function is when you give a set of instructions to your browser to do stuff. So here we're going to do an on click and make sure that when because I put all that stuff in there. When we click, something happens. And so I'm going to do a click handler here. And I'm going to look into this. I'm not sure if I can make this into something that's a little bit more global, but even if I can't, it's not a big deal. So I'm going to do a function. I'm going to call it click handler. And then I want it to do something. And so first, I'm just going to log to the console. This is just an easy way to troubleshoot for me to write clicked. And so if I come over here to the console and I click, nothing happens. Why does nothing happen? So nav items. Okay. So this is a bad way to do this, I guess. Okay. So a couple things need to happen here. First thing is I just need to set a new div that's going to have a class name of, I'm going to set it to nav menu. And that's just going to have nothing in it because we're going to go here and change this to nav items display none. And then this is going to be nav menu. And so if we come back over here, we have nav menu, which has not shown up here. So if I refresh, I wonder if I'm working in the wrong function, which is very likely. So if I come here, and I'm just going to copy and paste, I'm just going to copy and paste this. So if I do that, and then hit you there. Yep, there it is. Okay. So now, yes, okay. That's straight on. Cursor is pointer, that works. And now, if I do, what happens if I open this up though? It stays. So what I need, need nav menu to do display none once it gets to a higher, which actually, can I do visibility none? Oh, wait, visibility hidden. So now it's hidden, but it's still there. If I do display none, then it's gone. Okay. So that's what I want. And then we come here and it's back. And so if I click on it, nothing happens because I need to come back here and set this as, I'm actually going to set you as a button. You're going to have a, I know you need to have some ARIA stuff, but then I have to set other function. I'm just going to set it as a div for now. I may change it to a button later. But so it's going to be a display none, displays, and then I come back here to the nav. And now I want to do my click handler. And then come down here to nav menu and do on click. And then set this to be click handler. And if I click on it without that, there it is down at the bottom there. If I click it a bunch of times, you can see it's bumping that up. So now instead of click handler just saying clicked, I want it to do something meaningful. And so what I want it to do is a state. So I want to set use state. And so state is something that is introduced in React that allows us to maintain and keep track of things like is it open, and can you set is it open? And so I want my initial state here to be false. And so that's going to mean that the is open is false. So that means it's closed. But I can come over here and set is open to true, which will then say that something is true. And so let me show you what I mean. But first, I actually want to see if I can remember a way to make my life a little bit easier. Use state. So I'm trying to see if I can toggle a state. Let me pull up my other here. So we come here, and what we'll do is, I think I can just do set is open to equal not is open. I don't remember if this is actually something that works. How have I've done this before, so I just need to look this up real quick. So I'm just looking through an old project real quick, and I'm sure all of you actual developers out there are rolling your eyes hard right now because I am not that. I am a musician and I do musician things, but I like to pretend that I do other things too. All right, so I think I found it. Click handler, set is click. All right, so set is open, and then I'm taking the current, which I don't think these parentheses were necessary, and then arrow function over to not current. And so if is open, then I want it to log open. Then else log closed, sad face. So then if I come back here and then I hit that, closed, open, closed, open. But that means that my initial state is wrong. So if I set is open to true, and then I hit that, it means it's open, closed, open, closed. And so now what that'll allow me to do is, if I come here and I want to assign a new class name, so a couple things need to happen here. So first thing is I need to do that, and then come over here and do is open, and this is going to be a ternary operator. So that means I'm asking, is it open? If it is, I want a class called active, which I don't have yet. But if it's closed, which is this or here, I don't want anything. And so if I do that, and then I come here and click on that, it's currently set to active. So maybe I did have this right, and I was just looking at it all wrong. So now, if I click here, so it just says nav menu, and then it has it has a space here where active is going to go. And so now, if I hit the active class, and really I need to be a little bit more specific. So I need to do nav active, and then I come here, and I want to do nav active. That's wrong. Somehow I am indented and I don't want to be. So let me format all that. Nav active, I want to set, and really it's not that needs to be active. I need all of this actually to be done to nav items. So let's do the same thing where I do this, then that, and then just for simplicity, cut this out, put you there, and do that whole number. And then when I click, so it's recording state right now, I hit that, nav active, nav's not active. And so then if the nav is active, I can do display block. And so when that happens, that should pop up. Now I don't want it to look quite like that. And so I will want the nav items to also be display block. So nav items should be block. They are block. Nav items. I need it to be so it's not like that. And so nav items inline block maybe? No? So what I have right now is that works. Like it makes the items show up. The problem though is that they show up the way that they do. And so I need the unordered list called nav items to be display block to be shown. And then I need nav items to also be display block, which is what I just said. Okay, so maybe I set this to flex. I do flex. I don't think this is an actual thing. It's not. Okay, so new problem. Again, you know, this is what this is all about. Nav menu. Display block? No. Okay, so what is happening here? What I'm trying to do is when I click on this, yes, it has a block, but I need this to come down here because I don't want it to be in line there anymore. And so that means that I need the nav to no longer be flex. No, I do. I just need this to not be flex, which should be what this is doing. But for some reason, it is not. So I click that. Okay, so let's try this then. We're going to come here and bump this up a level and do div. Put this unordered list in there. And set this part up here. Nope, that was right. I need that. All right, what's the problem now? I guess I don't need that part. There. So now this is space between nav active. So it's hidden now. It's active now. And so nav active display block. Then that's not moving. Space between, which should be right too. So if it's not space between, what is it? It's not spaced evenly. Ah, coding is so frustrating, y'all. Okay. So I come here. If I open this all the way, it's good. If I come here, though, it is not good. Hit that. Okay, so what I need is nav menu to be there, which that shouldn't affect anything. This also shouldn't affect anything. Nav items. Sometimes this software is too smart for its own good. So I have my nav items, which are hidden and should not be here. But they are. Okay. So display block, nav items, nav hidden. Let's do it that way. Nav hidden, display none. All right, so now if I click on it, there they are. All right, so now, does that mean though, nav active, and then nav items, block, if I did this right, display, block, and then I click this, they still show up here. But they should not, because they should be down here. So the hidden works. That works. So what it sounds like needs to happen is display none, have hidden display flex. Does nothing, which just tells me that that does nothing. Where is my nav active if not right there? I guess I need to refresh then. No, it still works. What is happening? Nav active, but I don't have a nav active going. Like it does not exist. Coding is so weird, y'all. That. Let's try this number here. I click that. Still, it's there. What is going on here? Nav hidden, nav active. But there's literally no nav active here. So I'm going to try closing the server, reopening it, refreshing. And it's still there. It still says nav active, even though y'all, this is weird. So on click, if it's open, we have on click, the click handler is changing, is open. And what I can actually do is, no, because I don't need it hidden. I need it to stay where it's at. And so this is an extra step that I don't need. Take all of this stuff, put it back in there. Don't need this div because it's doing the same thing. Bam, bam. All right. So nav items, nav active, nav hidden. All right, so now we have nav hidden, which what happens if I just do this? All right, so that is working. We have none, good. And then we have nav active, which I'm gonna do display, all right, no. Position, absolute, width, 100, view height, just because I'm trying to get something. Okay, so that worked. I actually want this to be height. And then background color, I want to be variable brand color. Then when I click on this, it shows up. Then width, 100, view height. What if I do relative instead of absolute? That's what I want, except I want it down lower. Top, what is it, 100 pixels probably. Oh, this is frustrating. Okay, so that's something though. Height, view height, I want width to be 100% view width. And then I want no list decoration, which is list style, not decoration. None. Okay, and then I want my color to be black with text decoration of none. Okay, so that's not going to work there. I need it to go to nav active A. Go. And then I want a padding of 0 on the top and bottom, and we'll say 10. We'll do 1 rem at the left. Oh, wait, no, wrong way. Top and bottom there. Okay, maybe if I do li instead. Okay, that was partially what I wanted. All right, so take you out, and then I want a nav active li dot p there, and then I want a border top to be 1 solid black, and I want the same thing on the bottom. Or maybe I don't. Just do the top. And then I can do text align center. There's that. So that's close to what I want it to look like, but I don't want it to look like that there. I want it to look like a drop down, which I'm struggling with right now for some reason. And so when in doubt, there are 2 things we can do. We can either look on Stack Overflow. I can see what I've done before. So I'm going to see what I've done before for a nav, which you should be able to see here. And nav. Maybe I'll just, okay, nav bar toggle drop down menu. Okay, I don't want to use Bootstrap. Drop down navigation bar. That's what I want. That's not really what I want, actually. Okay. Bootstrap, no. Not drop down, hamburger menu. How to create. That's what I want, but I want it to actually overlay, but that's okay. This will get me started. Okay, advertisements, JavaScript here. Play. All right, so my links, which are these here. Logo. So really, this is close to what I want. Top nav. Play none, yes. Okay, block. So I think the problem that I'm running into is that this is flex. Let's see what happens if I do inline block. Okay, what if I just do block? All right, so that's closer. But since brand is flex, I want to change this also to block. But I need this to actually be inline block. And then I need to set brand to have a width of 100%. Oh boy. So I can actually logo. So I need brand. Okay, so brand can stay flex. Let's bring this back. Flex. Then I want this to be flex start. Okay. So that's a start here. So I have all of that. And then I need this, which is currently set to block, it seems. It's not set to block. So if I need my nav menu to be set to display inline block, I could just do position fixed and do right one rim, top one rim. And that puts it there. And then when you expand, I need it all to be back to where it was before. So that means that nav bar is going to be display flex. There we go. So then we get small. The top maybe 2 rim. Nope. 0.5. Not even. 0.25. That should be it right there. So then I click that, and it should drop down to everything there. All right, and I'm not even too mad about it scrolling over. That's a problem. But so far, doing okay. I actually really hate this, so I'm going to have to fix this, but that's enough for this video today because you guys are just watching me struggle. So I'm gonna call it quits here. If you liked watching me struggle, make sure you subscribe, make sure you check out all the music that is in my description, and I'll see you guys on the next video.